Hey you guys, welcome back to FedBiz Exchange. I'm Michelle Brown, your coach and your mentor. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the do's and don'ts of building confident relationships with product suppliers, distributors, and manufacturers. I already talked to you about subcontractors, but product suppliers and distributors and manufacturers are a little bit different. So let's get into it. So basically, it is still the same, the setup. You are the middleman. You're the middle person. The suppliers and the manufacturers report to you. They are your responsibility, and you take care of the government. So whatever the government needs, you get that from your distributor, your supplier, or your manufacturer. And it's basically the same structure that you would have with your subcontractors. You are the responsible party. Building a confident relationship with product suppliers, distributors, and manufacturers can be a little bit challenging. It's not difficult, but they don't know you. So it's about cultivating relationships. My winnings come from me not just cultivating relationships, but I actually went out and made my suppliers, meaning I have a lot of small business client relationships that I utilize to make things for me or do things for me so that they can win and I can win. When I find that large manufacturers are not playing ball with small businesses so that we can win, even though they are not out there bidding, I go and create a small business that I can work with, and then I tell them, if you will do this with me, I can bring you more business this way. That's how I won my first few contracts, is because I could not get good pricing out of manufacturers. Now I do. I have a little bit more patience, but I do both. I love creating these small business relationships for people to win, and I win. These larger companies move a little bit slow, but you have to learn how things work, and you can win with some of them because sometimes the government only wants a specific type of product from a specific manufacturer. And this is how it works. Manufacturers generally will farm out their sales activities to distributors and suppliers, and sometimes the manufacturer will not sell to you directly unless you are a supplier. So how do you learn that? You contact them, but this is where you start. You just go on Google, you look up the product that the government would like for you to sell to them. You find various manufacturers if you can. Sometimes you will find one or two. You need to contact at least 2 to 3 manufacturers and ask the questions that I'm going to tell you to ask. You research the manufacturers, however, before you call them because you want to sound competent. Remember, confidence is very important. Get the manufacturer's telephone number to contact them, and then make sure you have all the details in front of you. If the manufacturer says they will only allow you to buy from them through a third-party distributor, ask them who the distributor is and go ahead and call the distributor. It's not that bad. You just usually need to create the relationship with the distributor. Sometimes the pricing may not be where you want it to be, but sometimes the more you buy, the more you can get off of the pricing. So you can get a discounted price rate. And then you don't need to tell them that this is a government contract yet. You need to keep your information minimal. You need to give them the details about the product that you want to buy. Remember, you're trying to be a customer and you're trying to make them a partner. So you don't need to tell them everything. Sometimes they will ask you, are you a government contractor? And you can answer, but you don't need to send them the solicitation. You don't need to share any more information. And then give them all the details. Like for instance, in my example, in previous examples, I've used patient lists. If my patient list says that I need to give the government a product that will hold 400 pounds and it must be hydraulic, then that's what I ask for. I don't let the manufacturer try to talk me into something else. It's a waste of my time, and I'm not going to win. Once you get the manufacturer on the telephone and give them the details, these are the types of questions you need to start asking. You would ask things like, do you have this product in stock? Where is the product made if it's not made in the US, which you guys probably know by now, especially listening to me, we are not making a lot of things in the United States, which is very, very sad, but we're not. Also, when can you get the pricing for the number of items you need? Sometimes what I will do is start out with a smaller number of items to see what price they give me. Then, if they give me an okay price, and I like that price, I will ask them, can you give me a better discount if I buy more? Sometimes, if I know the government consistently buys this item, I want to buy or be ready to buy more anyway, especially if I know that the government buys this every few months. Then I asked how much of a discounted rate can they give me for the larger quantity orders? And can I set up an account? Do I need to pay by credit? Do I need to pay cash? Do I need to put something down? I also ask about detailed literature for the item. Why? Because the government is going to ask me for technical specs. I also need to write about the technical specs in my bid to the government. Nothing long and detailed. I just need to name the item, tell the government specifically what the item is. And then I want to make sure that I'm telling the government, this is the item that you asked for. That's my description. I don't say it like that, but I describe the item. I also tell the government how many I'm getting and what I'm getting them. Now, some people might say, well, if they ask for 10, won't you just give them 10? What if I can only get 10 now and I can get, maybe they want 50 and I can only get 10 now and get the other 40 later? That's how you talk to them. You be very specific. Some people may not be able to get any. So just because you can't get them all at once doesn't mean the government is not going to work with you, especially if the order is not due for another 60 or 70 days, or you have 30 days. So the other question I'm going to ask is, how fast can I get the quantity that I need? And I already asked them how much do they have in stock, but I need to circle back and say, how soon can you get the rest? If you only have 10 of those items, how soon can I expect the full quantity? Can I take the 10 now and get the 40 later? What are the payment options? I talked to you about that. Are they going to give me credit? And if they do, what are the terms and what are the qualifications? Get your pricing and plug in your numbers into your bid pricing template. If you don't know what that is, click on the link in the comment section. I'm really trying to help you guys understand you need to know your numbers so you will know and pay attention to your profitability. You will know what your profit will be specifically when you plug in the numbers from the manufacturer. Maybe you have to pay for trucking and delivery, which may not be very much, or maybe you're allowed to use the mail service. It really depends on what you're selling the government. The government will give you the instructions about that. But if you take those numbers and plug them into your bid pricing template, you will see if it's worth it for you to actually do this. And then don't forget, you need to put some administrative time into the bid pricing template for yourself, especially if you have to pay someone to manage the project. But maybe it doesn't need anyone else. Maybe it's okay and it's only going to take 10% of your time. So you put your time by the hour into the bid pricing template, plus the delivery, plus what the manufacturer is going to charge you. And even sometimes the manufacturer will include the cost if the government will allow you to do drop ship.